I'm delighted to be joined on the show by former French international and 2006 World Cup finalist Louis Saha. Louis, pleasure to have you here on WION to build up to the day's matches. I know that you're here as a neutral pundit for the tournament, but surely on days like this, it must be difficult to keep your instinctive allegiances at bay.
Completely. Thank you very much for having me. It's definitely some very excitement towards that World Cup. I'm really looking forward this afternoon games. As a pundit, you asked me to be neutral. I don't think it's going to be possible. Definitely, I'm fully behind the French team. They have been playing really good, especially at the last game. They have a very tough opponent. What can you ask? I think every fan of football is looking forward that type of fixture, because you can see that it's going to go to details. It's going to go to very physical aspect. I'm looking forward a very strong setup of teams. So yes, I think both managers have worked really hard to making sure that the game they're going to start really well. First 20 minutes will be decisive, I will say. But yes, when you have that type of platform to go on in a competition like the World Cup, you really have to work really hard on small details and making sure that the players stick. So physically being prepared. As a fan, you expect the team to show desire, so that's what I want to see.
Louis, it was a tricky group stage for France. We didn't see the team hit the form and the flair that was perhaps expected from them, given the magnificent individual talent they have in their ranks. But a big performance against Argentina. Do you get the sense that they are finally beginning to gel as a team and at the right time?
I'm not fully agree with the first criticism for French side, because they've been in a group stage where they obviously play against lesser sides, not very convincing sides where they defend. So they play a very professional game. So without very forcing them, the wide men, for example, Dembélé or Mbappé, had to defend a lot, making sure that they were compact. Completely different setup on the last 16, where you have to really go for the win. It's a completely different tournament then. So people don't understand those factors. Managers do. They have to have a very professional approach, making sure that they are on the next game as favorites. So people as fans may not understanding as well. If they want to see goals, they want to see excitement. Yes, it's a show for sure, but those managers want to go all the way. So I not agree with that. As being part of a World Cup setup, I know how the pressure it is. You have to maintain the actual capacity of holding all that and making sure that you're up there for the longest competition. I remember in 2006 we were not playing well at all, but the main focus was to remain in there and making sure that on the last day of the World Cup you're still playing.
One of the most spoken about aspects of this contest tonight, Louis, is that there's a real familiarity between the two sets of players in action. I asked this to Eugensen Lingdo in our studios as well. Diego Godin and Jose Jimenez play alongside Griezmann and Lucas Hernandez at Atletico Madrid. Cavani and Mbappe are at PSG. Luis Suarez, Samuel Umtiti at Barcelona. How do you as a player approach a match like this? Do players try to double bluff opponents in such a scenario, intentionally perhaps do what is least expected of them?
This is more a factor for managers to focus on the actual strength of the side, weakness of the opposition. A more defensive minded manager will have a very focus on the opposition, and a very offensive one will say, oh, how we can really hurt the opposition. So it's different set of mind depending on the manager. So it's not a matter of the players. Yeah, you may have connection and know the players in front of you, but you focus on the tactics, focus on your job and making sure that you hurt your opponent as much as you can, making sure that you you prepared. You have that factor during the year when you play in a championship. Pretty much you know every players in front of you. There is no such a factor in the World Cup. It's just a matter of trying to be prepared as much as you have to during those type of fixture, because they are all about small details, all about your concentration and how you can produce a bit of magic or unpredictability during that game.